The skies are no longer safe for America's enemies. The latest version of the F-22 Raptor has just been unveiled, and it's more advanced and deadlier than ever before. With advanced upgrades and unmatched stealth, this legendary fighter jet has sent shockwaves through Russia and China. As global tensions rise, the United States Air Force is making it clear. The Raptor is ready for battle, and it's a nightmare for anyone daring to challenge it. But what exactly makes this upgraded Raptor so terrifying? And can Russia or China come up with anything to match it? Join us as we uncover the details of the latest F-22 Raptor that's ready for action. The F-22 Raptor is undeniably one of the most powerful and feared fighter jets ever developed. Famous for its stealth, speed, and deadly accuracy, it's been the pride of the U.S. Air Force for years. The United States has spent billions of dollars to upgrade this fighter jet and to keep it formidable and untouchable by modern threats. But now, with help from some of the brightest minds in aerospace, this fighter jet has been pushed far beyond its original limits. This new partnership brings together some serious firepower: SpaceX, NASA, Lockheed Martin, and even top-secret engineers from Area 51. These experts are combining their knowledge to create a jet that is not only stealthier, but also faster, smarter, and more powerful than anything currently flying. The Air Force didn't just want another fast plane. They wanted something revolutionary, a fighter jet that can supercruise, which means flying at supersonic speeds without using its afterburners. That saves fuel, reduces heat, and keeps the plane stealthy while moving faster than the speed of sound. Thanks to this SpaceX-led effort, the upgraded F-22 will do that and more. The plan is to give it new engines that are lighter, quieter, and more powerful, possibly using some of the same tech that rockets use to blast into space. These engines could also support next-gen weapon systems that fire at speeds we've only dreamed of before. But that's not all. Engineers are also working on enhancing the jet's radar dodging abilities. Imagine a fighter that's not only invisible to enemy radar, but can also jam enemy signals, sneak past defenses, and strike before it's even seen. That's what this upgraded Raptor promises. The jet's brains are getting a boost too. AI-driven flight controls, faster sensors, and advanced targeting systems will allow pilots to react instantly in any combat situation. And with SpaceX involved, the cockpit could be getting a serious high-tech makeover, offering better displays, data sharing, and control systems built for the digital age. This isn't just about defense, it's about making a bold statement. With other nations like China and Russia racing to build their own 5th and 6th gen jets, this move puts the US way ahead in the skies. It's a clear message. American air superiority is here to stay. So what happens when you mix the world's best stealth fighter with cutting-edge rocket science and secret government tech? You get a reimagined F-22, a futuristic war machine that could dominate the skies for decades to come. Let's start with the engine. SpaceX, known for launching rockets into space, took its powerful engine technology and redesigned it for the Raptor. This new engine runs on a special mix of methane and oxygen. The result, massive thrust without losing control. The upgraded F-22 can now fly at speeds of Mach 2.7, and not just in quick bursts. It can keep going that fast for a long time without overheating, thanks to advanced cooling built right into the system. Then comes NASA, bringing in some next-level wing designs. Inspired by the record-breaking X-15 rocket plane, NASA engineers created brand-new fairings from super-light composite materials. These not only make the plane faster by cutting down on air drag, but they also boost its stealth, helping the jet sneak through enemy radar like a ghost. And thanks to these changes, the Raptor can now pull off insanely sharp turns at high speeds, maneuvers that used to be impossible. Next in line is Lockheed Martin, the original builder of the F-22. They didn't just upgrade the electronics, they completely transformed the brain of the jet. The new F-22 comes loaded with AI-assisted piloting, giving the pilot advanced support during high-stress dogfights. It's also now cyber war ready. Its upgraded systems are protected with layers of cybersecurity, and it connects instantly with Starlink satellites, allowing it to share real-time data with other jets and ground bases within seconds. Think of it as a flying computer that never loses signal. Now here's where it gets even more exciting. Area 51 got involved too. Yes, the same top-secret base known for testing the most experimental tech in the world. Their engineers added a new type of synthetic armor to the jet. It's incredibly light, but tough enough to take a hit from something as deadly as a 30mm cannon. This armor helps protect the jet without weighing it down. As for firepower, the Raptor didn't just keep its classic cannon, it got an upgrade. The M61 Vulcan cannon is now smarter and deadlier, paired with newly designed missile pods for both air-to-air and air-to-ground missions. The fire control system, enhanced by Lockheed's AI, can scan the battlefield, analyze enemy movements, and even suggest the best move for the pilot in real time. Plus, it can still operate in intense electronic warfare situations where enemies try to jam or block targeting systems. And finally, there's stealth, a brand new radar-absorbing coating made from ultra-dark nanomaterials now covers the jet. This makes it almost invisible to enemy radar, even while flying at medium altitudes. Combined with its quiet profile and sharp turns, the jet becomes a nightmare for enemy defenses. Put all these upgrades together, and the Raptor is no longer just a fighter jet. It's a flying powerhouse with super speed, smart systems, and unmatched stealth. After all these changes, it can cruise at Mach 2.5, soar up to 12 miles high, and fly over 1,800 miles without needing to refuel. With centimeter-level precision, its new navigation system allows for exact airspace control. In today's modern combat environment, that level of accuracy can mean the difference between success and failure. But this is only the beginning. What makes the new Raptor so powerful is how it works with other systems. It's not operating alone, it's connected to all current US military forces. Every action it takes is in sync with jets, drones, ships, and ground units. It's now a fully integrated command hub in the sky. One of its key roles is to work alongside fifth-generation F-35 stealth fighters and the long-range B-21 Raider bomber. Imagine this: an F-35, known for sneaking deep into enemy territory, finds a hidden target. It quickly sends the exact location to the Raptor. In seconds, the Raptor can launch an attack, adjust the mission plan, or alert the B-21 to deliver a more powerful strike. This level of coordination makes the US Air Force more dangerous than ever before. But the Raptor isn't just working with jets. It can also talk to ships in real time. Thanks to high-speed connections through Starlink satellites, the Raptor can share battlefield data with US Navy vessels, including carrier strike groups. This means that what the Raptor sees or detects in the air can be used immediately by ships at sea. For example, let's say a surveillance drone, maybe a carrier-launched CA drone, spots a threat. The drone sends a quick alert to the Raptor. The Raptor's onboard AI instantly analyzes the situation, then shares the threat data with missile cruisers and destroyers in the area. Those ships can then lock on and fire even before the threat is fully visible. This smooth teamwork between air and sea forces gives the US military a massive edge over any opponent. This new level of coordination doesn't just make the Raptor a better jet, it makes it the centerpiece of a larger, smarter battle system. It can fight, lead, share, and defend. Whether it's launching an airstrike or helping ships defend a coastline, the Raptor now does more than ever before. In the past, fighter jets were built to fly fast and shoot straight. Today, that's not enough. With stealth, AI, satellite data links, and coordination with other elite aircraft and naval units, the Raptor is more like a flying supercomputer. It's built not just for speed, but for leadership in battle. One of the biggest game changers? Starlink. The Raptor now uses SpaceX's global satellite system to stay connected to everything: ground forces, ships at sea, and other aircraft in the sky. Through Starlink, the jet receives real-time data from satellites, analyzes it instantly using built-in AI, and relays the results to the pilot or command centers without delay. This means every decision in battle, whether it's striking a target or avoiding a threat, is faster, smarter, and more accurate than ever. But none of this came easy. The upgrades were incredibly expensive. Every single piece had to be justified in front of Congress. Political debates erupted. Not every country welcomed the idea of the US having such an unbeatable air force. Tensions rose even higher after a recent military exercise in the Baltic Sea. During what was supposed to be a routine drill, an unidentified jet was spotted heading straight toward the USS flagship of the 6th Fleet. 2 F-22 Raptors were scrambled. The pilots prepared for the worst, full missile systems were activated, ready to strike. But when they reached the mystery jet, they were stunned. It was a Soviet-era fighter from the 1970s, likely Russian. While the Raptor could have easily taken it down, doing so risked global backlash. Events like these are becoming more common. NATO forces are often forced to intercept foreign aircraft near their borders. It's clear the skies are heating up, but with the new F-22, the U.S. is ready for anything. The future of air combat has officially taken flight. In the first quarter of 2024, the number of NATO fighter jet interceptions of Russian aircraft near Allied airspace rose by 25%. In 2023 alone, there were more than 300 such incidents. These encounters typically happen near Kaliningrad, a heavily monitored area. But this time, things took a surprising turn. A Russian Su-24M Fencer-E aircraft suddenly took off right under Finland's nose. It launched from the Gromovo Air Base and flew directly toward the site of a NATO training exercise. Even experienced U.S. Navy operators didn't notice it at first. The situation was strange and required a fast, smart response. Two powerful F-22s, flown by some of the U.S. Army's best pilots, quickly launched from the Amari base in Estonia. Their mission was to intercept the Russian spy plane before it could get too close. Luckily, the U.S. had help from above. An RQ-4 Global Hawk drone was flying just off the coast of Estonia, scanning the skies for anything suspicious. This drone played a key role. The Global Hawk is one of the top tools in America's intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance fleet. It can spot threats and send information directly to people on the ground. What made this event even more impressive was that the drone noticed the incoming aircraft before any ground-based radar systems did. That almost never happens. It shows how drones are changing the game in military defense and paving the way for a new generation of pilots in intelligence missions. However, it's important to understand that the Su-24M is not an ordinary fighter. It's actually a special reconnaissance version of the Su-24 strike aircraft developed in the former Soviet Union. Its mission is not usually to attack, but to collect important information, often during times of tension. Even though it wasn't an attack aircraft, its presence near the NATO exercise raised alarms. The F-22 Raptors were ready for anything. These American fighters were fully armed, each carrying a dozen high-tech missiles. Facing an older Soviet aircraft wouldn't normally be a problem, but the risk of engaging a Russian jet, especially during an international exercise, was serious. The pilots had to carefully weigh the risk before taking any action. This wasn't the first time NATO forces had to deal with unexpected Russian flights, but the quick interception by the F-22s and the crucial role of the Global Hawk drone showed how much military strategy has evolved. Now, with cutting-edge technology and improved intelligence tools, threats can be detected faster and more precisely than ever before. As tensions between NATO and Russia continue, these kinds of missions are likely to become even more common. But with a strong defense network and new tools like satellite-linked drones and AI-guided aircraft, the West is more prepared than ever to protect its skies and allies. Back in the 1970s, the Su-24M was designed for one main goal: to spy deep inside enemy territory. It was built with advanced tools for its time, including radar stations, optoelectronic systems, and devices for collecting electronic signals. These tools helped it take photographs and gather valuable data on enemy defenses, like radar systems and communication networks. Despite being old, the Su-24M is still very fast. It can fly at a maximum speed of about 960 miles per hour and cover a range of around 380 miles. This speed allows it to enter dangerous areas, collect information, and leave quickly, often without being seen. In a recent incident, one of these planes nearly made it to the city of Glaya without being detected. The American F-22 Raptor pilots were shocked by how bold and skilled the Russian pilot was. They knew this mission could turn into something serious, so they prepared for any outcome. The Su-24M pilot also understood the risk. He wasn't going to back down, even if it meant facing a dangerous situation that could lead to a major global conflict. The Su-24M's likely target was the Mount Whitney, the command ship of the U.S. Navy's 6th Fleet. This ship is filled with top-secret technology, especially its powerful radar systems. For Russian intelligence, learning even a small detail about this ship would be a big win. That's why the Su-24M took the risk. The Mount Whitney is equipped with 3 advanced radar systems. If the Su-24M got too close, it would be detected immediately and targeted by the ship's Sea Sparrow missiles. These missiles are fast and accurate, making it nearly impossible for any enemy aircraft to escape. The F-22 pilots knew they had to protect Mount Whitney no matter what. The ship is too valuable, and the mission was too important to fail. The F-22 Raptor is one of the most powerful fighter jets in the world. It carries a strong mix of air-to-air and air-to-ground missiles, all hidden inside the plane to keep its stealth mode. It also has the M61A2 Vulcan cannon for close combat. Because of its design, the F-22 can fly silently and remain hidden, even while preparing for an attack. In this mission, the Russian pilot had no idea that an F-22 was already flying behind him, ready to act if needed. The Su-24M may be an older plane, but it's still a threat when fully armed. It can carry both air-to-air and air-to-ground missiles, along with guided bombs like the KAB-500 and KAB-1500. These bombs are especially dangerous to U.S. Navy ships because of their precision. Most of the Su-24M's weapons are mounted under its wings, making it easy to see how heavily it's armed once up close. The job of the F-22 Raptor pilot was clear: get close to the Russian jet and make sure the U.S. Navy's flagship wasn't in danger. As the Raptor approached, the pilot finally saw the Su-24M with his own eyes. It looked like the Russian pilot had also noticed the F-22, but he hadn't made any aggressive moves yet. As the 2 F-22s closed in, they got a better view of the Russian plane and realized it wasn't carrying heavy weapons. The pilots let out a breath of relief. Still, the mission wasn't over. Now came the standard procedure: escort the enemy jets safely away from the sensitive area. The 2 F-22s took position, one on each side of the Su-24M, and used visual signals to show the Russian pilot that his spying mission had failed. But things didn't go as expected. Instead of backing off, the Russian pilot made a bold move. Gaining speed, he suddenly swerved toward the wing of one of the F-22s, then dove downward in an attempt to break away. It was a risky maneuver that could have led to a crash, or even worse, triggered a serious international incident. Moments like this are why F-22 pilots are trained to stay calm no matter what. Rather than react aggressively, the Raptor pilots stayed focused and followed protocol. They immediately reported the incident to their commanding officer. The decision was made to continue monitoring the Russian plane from a safe distance to avoid further provocation. In the end, the mission was completed without any damage or losses. The F-22 pilots returned safely to the Amari base, and the Su-24M pilot, realizing he had no real way to compete with the advanced U.S. fighter jets, made the only choice left. He flew toward the Kaliningrad region and landed. He had gained no valuable intelligence and had lost the element of surprise, his only real advantage. This encounter was another reminder that even older planes like the Su-24M can pose a threat when used in bold and unexpected ways. But with the right equipment, training, and discipline, U.S. pilots continue to stay one step ahead, protecting their assets while avoiding unnecessary conflict. The F-22 is back in the spotlight, and this time it's not just about looks. This stealth predator of the skies, once thought untouchable, is being pushed to new limits with upgrades that sound unbelievable. From deadlier precision to smarter stealth, whispers of its evolution are fueling debates across nations and sparking obsession among aviation fans. Could this be the rise of a super F-22, or is it just another wild headline designed to stir the skies? Join us as we explore the new upgrades that the deadly Super F-22 Raptor just got. Back in the month of May, President Donald Trump made headlines when he proudly announced that the United States was preparing a beautiful upgrade of the F-22 Raptor fighter jet. His words once again stirred both curiosity and debate, particularly because the F-22 remains one of the most advanced and secretive aircraft ever built, a symbol of American air power. During a meeting with top business leaders on his trip to the nation of Qatar, Trump went on to shower the jet with high praise. He described the F-22 as the most beautiful fighter in the world and boldly promised that we're going to be doing an F-22 Super. At the time, outlets such as Business Insider quickly reported his comments, highlighting both his enthusiasm and the questions surrounding what such an upgrade might involve. Observers recalled that despite its reputation, the F-22 has rarely been tested against the high-end threats it was originally designed to defeat. In fact, one of its most publicized moments came in the year 2023, when the aircraft achieved an unusual air-to-air kill by shooting down a Chinese spy balloon that had wandered into American airspace. While that mission was technically successful, it also seemed anticlimactic for a jet created to dominate hostile skies, filled with rival stealth fighters and advanced air defenses. In that same speech delivered in Qatar, Trump also accused China of outright theft. He claimed that Chinese engineers had copied the F-22's design in an effort to build their own stealth fighters. With dramatic flair, he added, "They copied our design, but they won't be able to copy our engines." To Trump, the engines remained the crown jewel of American aerospace technology, something too sophisticated for rivals to duplicate. What Trump did not make clear, however, were the specific details of the supposed upgrade he promised. His remarks were vague, leaving defense experts, journalists, and military enthusiasts wondering whether he was simply speaking off the cuff or whether there truly was a classified modernization plan already in the works. Since then, more information has slowly surfaced. A report published this very month shed light on what the United States Air Force is actually requesting for the future of the F-22 fleet. The service appears focused on extending the life of the jet, adding new avionics, improved weapon systems, and enhanced networking abilities, so that the Raptor can operate effectively alongside newer aircraft such as the still-in-development next-generation air dominance platform. The report also emphasized the challenge of maintaining the fleet. The F-22 was produced in limited numbers, and production officially ended over a decade ago. With fewer than 200 operational Raptors in service today, the Air Force faces mounting costs to keep them airworthy and combat-ready. Upgrades may be beautiful, but they are also expensive and time-consuming. According to the latest budget request from the United States Air Force for fiscal year 2026, the Story jet is slated for a round of transformative upgrades designed to ensure it remains dominant in the skies of tomorrow. For aviation enthusiasts, this is the kind of news that sparks adrenaline. The Raptor, already a marvel of aerospace engineering, is about to get even sharper fangs. The upcoming modernization effort will focus on shielding the aircraft from emerging global threats and maintaining its cutting-edge relevance well into the future. These enhancements go far beyond mere cosmetic improvements. Instead, they represent a full-spectrum boost to stealth, situational awareness, survivability, and lethality. In other words, the Raptor is being tuned to take on an era of increasingly contested skies. One of the headline additions is the Infrared Defensive System, or IRDS, which Lockheed Martin had already teased earlier this year. This system promises to dramatically improve the Raptor's ability to detect, track, and evade heat-seeking threats. But IRDS is only the beginning. The new budget request also calls for enhancements to the jet's stealth features, a more powerful and sensitive radar array, and upgrades to its already formidable electronic warfare suite. Together, these improvements will make the F-22 not just harder to see, but also harder to shoot, jam, or outmaneuver. For fans of military aviation, the details get even juicier. Other projects currently in the pipeline include podded infrared search and track sensors, allowing the Raptor to hunt enemy aircraft passively without giving away its position, and stealthy drop tanks that would extend the jet's range without compromising its radar-evading profile. These innovations, however, are not part of the immediate budget request. That said, their very existence underscores the Air Force's intent to squeeze every ounce of potential from its limited fleet of Raptors. And limited it truly is. The Air Force currently operates roughly 185 F-22s, of which only 143 are combat-coded and ready for frontline missions. The remainder are dedicated to training, testing, and evaluation. Factor in the unavoidable downtime for maintenance and repairs, and the operational fleet shrinks even further. Despite these constraints, demand for the Raptor remains sky-high. Its combination of stealth, speed, agility, and sheer intimidation keeps it in constant rotation wherever American air power needs to send a message. To ensure it stays ahead of rivals and continues meeting these high demands, the Raptor is receiving a fresh wave of upgrades. The package features the previously announced infrared defensive system, alongside upgrades to the jet's stealth design, radar strength, electronic warfare tools, and other improvements. This is separate from additional modernization plans for the F-22, which include podded infrared search and track sensors and stealth-designed, range-extending fuel tanks. The Air Force's latest budget request for the fiscal year 2026 outlines details of these viability upgrades. This is a new program for which the service is requesting just over $90 million in the next budget cycle. At present, the Air Force has 185 Raptors, but only 143 are combat ready. The remainder are reserved for training, testing, and evaluation purposes. A large share of the fleet also spends time unavailable due to scheduled maintenance. Even so, the smaller Raptor fleet remains powerful, unique, and consistently in high demand. According to the Air Force, viability represents the future procurement of hardware and software capability improvements. These include, but are not limited to, low observable signature management, upgrades to the pilot vehicle interface, new countermeasures, helmet enhancements, future crypto protections, dynamic synthetic aperture radar, stronger cybersecurity, and the infrared defensive system for detecting missile launches. Electronic warfare system improvements will also be introduced to counter new enemy electronic threats. The service added that more advanced situational awareness features and mission effectiveness technologies would allow the F-22 to take an even stronger role in joint operations with other U.S. and allied forces. Lockheed Martin first confirmed in January that Raptors would receive the new infrared defensive system. The company explained that this technology would build upon its TASI-IRST infrared search and track sensors. TASI-IRST originally appeared in 2022 and was first seen integrated into the noses of F-5 Advanced Tiger aggressor jets, owned by the private contractor Tactical Air Support. A pod carrying multiple TACRS-T sensors has also been tested in past trials. The system represents a leap forward in survivability. By allowing pilots to detect missile threats earlier and with greater accuracy, it offers a decisive advantage in the sky. The addition of electronic warfare upgrades ensures that Raptors can adapt against fast-changing enemy technology, making them better equipped for modern and future battlefields. Combined with stealth-preserving drop tanks and extended infrared sensors, the aircraft will not only retain its dominance, but push it further. Despite being introduced in the mid-2000s, the F-22 remains the most advanced air superiority fighter in existence. However, its relatively small numbers have always been a limitation. Unlike the larger fleets of other aircraft, the Air Force has less than 200 Raptors in total, meaning every jet counts. These viability enhancements aim to keep the fleet effective, reliable, and capable of staying ahead of rising threats well into the future. The Air Force's fiscal year 2026 budget proposal highlights the infrared defensive system as the official program of record for the F-22's missile launch detector modernization effort. This initiative is focused on improving detection of long-range air-to-air and surface-to-air missile threats. It involves replacing the older legacy launch detectors with a new generation of sensors. The budget also notes that a formal decision on whether to begin low-rate initial production of the system for integration across the Raptor fleet is expected in the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2026. Currently, the F-22 relies on its AN/AAR-56 launch detector, which provides all-around infrared threat warning. What remains uncertain is whether the new defensive system will simply enhance those existing capabilities or expand them to something closer to what the F-35's distributed aperture system or other similar technologies already deliver. The growing threat environment is a major driver of these upgrades. In January, the Air Force warned about the likelihood of facing increasingly advanced anti-missile systems by the year 2050, some with ranges extending to as far as 1,000 miles. Both China and Russia have already developed or deployed new generations of long-range air-to-air and surface-to-air weapons. A sharp but short conflict between India and Pakistan earlier this year drew attention to China's PL-15 missile, a weapon that has already influenced the U.S. decision to develop the AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile. While the budget documents did not provide much additional detail about the full viability upgrade package, other notable enhancements have been confirmed. F-22 pilots are slated to receive Thales Scorpion helmet-mounted displays, a capability that was removed during the aircraft's original development. In recent years, the lack of such a system has become increasingly apparent in combat training and operational needs. To complement this, the Air Force awarded Lift Airborne Technologies a contract in 2022 to design a next-generation fixed-wing helmet, not only for Raptor pilots, but for others across the fighter community. The budget also references improvements to stealth signature management, an area that has drawn attention thanks to tests involving mirror-like coatings applied to the F-22, the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, and even the retired F-117 Nighthawk. These coatings, though semi-secretive, suggest a wider range of stealth enhancements under consideration. Beyond coatings, modifications designed to reduce infrared signatures are expected, aligning with the broader global resurgence in infrared search and track systems. Unlike radars, these systems are passive, allowing them to track stealth aircraft and missiles without emitting signals that can give away their position. They are also immune to advanced electronic warfare tactics, making them a valuable complement to radar systems. The Air Force has also confirmed that the F-22 will gain its own infrared search and track capability, delivered through a podded system. Raptors have been seen flying with stealthy underwing pods for years, and now this upgrade will officially move forward. According to the budget, the Sensor Enhancement Initiative will sharpen the Raptor's ability to detect and track threats, ensuring that the Block 30 and Block 35 jets retain their signature edge. First look, first shot, and first kill. The Air Force's latest budget proposal makes clear that work on enhancing the F-22 Raptor is pressing forward. It reveals that the service has already placed initial production orders for 2 separate lots, each consisting of 15 pods, making a total of 30 units. The plan is to begin receiving the first pods, which will be fitted with advanced infrared search and track sensors, by the second quarter of fiscal year 2028. In the meantime, additional testing and evaluation of the system will continue to ensure its effectiveness before it is fully fielded. One intriguing prospect mentioned in the documents is the potential for the new infrared defensive system and the podded infrared search and track capability to work in tandem. If successfully integrated, this pairing could significantly enhance the Raptor's ability to detect and track elusive threats. In general, infrared search and track systems can instantly determine a target's angle and bearing, but gauging range with a single sensor is more difficult. However, when 2 infrared systems mounted on separate aircraft are networked together, they can triangulate a target's position with precision, providing engagement-quality tracking data. Lockheed Martin has already showcased this kind of networking in the past with its Legion pod, which uses the IRST-21 sensor in a traditional gimbaled configuration. This demonstrates the promise of combining multiple infrared systems into a unified, highly capable detection network. Beyond sensors, the Air Force is still moving ahead with plans to field stealthy, low-drag external fuel tanks for the F-22. Known as the Low Drag Tanks and Pylons Program, or LDTP, this initiative is designed to extend the Raptor's range while minimizing the aerodynamic penalties typically associated with carrying external stores. The Air Force explains in its budget that these new tanks will allow the aircraft to fly supersonic with external fuel attached, all while retaining lethality and survivability. The pylons themselves are being fitted with advanced pneumatic release systems that maintain low drag while providing precise ejection performance. According to the budget proposal, the LDTP program will finalize technology maturation and conduct a series of risk reduction efforts. These include acquiring test pylons, refining designs for improvements, completing a manufacturing readiness review, and supporting the execution of initial flight tests at speeds up to 0.95 Mach. Looking ahead, the program will continue its engineering and manufacturing development phase, procuring low-drag tank assets and associated support equipment, while conducting flight trials to expand the performance envelope up to 1.2 Mach. Certification and qualification work will follow to ensure the system is combat-ready. The Air Force is not stopping at range extension. The budget outlines ongoing efforts to improve the Raptor's communication systems, avionics suite, and overall fleet reliability. These upgrades are essential for sustaining the platform, which has long been criticized for its maintenance-intensive nature. The discussion surrounding the proposed upgrades to America's advanced fighter aircraft has drawn significant attention, especially with questions about whether these plans will truly materialize. Observers noted that the request for the upgrades appeared to have firm backing from the President of the United States, an endorsement that undoubtedly added weight to the proposal. Such high-level support suggested that the project was being treated as more than just a passing idea, but rather as part of a strategic commitment to strengthening the future of the nation's air dominance. This development followed a statement made 4 years earlier by General Charles Q. Brown, who served as the United States Air Force Chief of Staff during the Biden administration. In the year 2021, General Brown had indicated that the F-22 Raptor was unlikely to remain part of the Air Force's long-term plans. His comments at that time, reported by Defense One, highlighted a larger restructuring vision for the Air Force fleet. General Brown explained that the Air Force then operated 7 different fighter fleets, a structure he believed needed to be streamlined. His intent, he clarified, was to reduce the number of fighter fleets to about 4. By doing so, the Air Force could concentrate resources, simplify logistics, and sharpen its technological edge. According to him, the goal was not just reduction for the sake of cutting numbers, but rather a deliberate move toward creating the right balance of aircraft that could meet the evolving demands of modern warfare. In his words from 2021, Brown emphasized the need for flexibility and foresight. He remarked that he was seeking a window of options, recognizing that threats and assumptions would change with time. By shaping the Air Force toward a specific direction, Brown intended to prepare it for a range of possible challenges. His statement reflected both caution and vision. Caution because the nature of threats could never be predicted with certainty, and vision because decisions made in that moment would influence American air power for decades to come. The replacement for the F-22 was already in discussion at that point. Brown made it clear that the then-developing next-generation air dominance program, now identified as the F-47, was expected to take the Raptor's place in the lineup. The NGAD project, shrouded in secrecy but widely regarded as one of the most ambitious undertakings in the history of combat aviation, was envisioned as a leap forward in stealth, range, and adaptability. At the core of his strategy was the acknowledgement that the United States could no longer afford to spread its resources thin across too many different aircraft types. Operating 7 fighter fleets meant increased costs in training, maintenance, and supply chains. By reducing that number to 4, the Air Force could channel its budget into fewer but more capable platforms, ensuring that each one would be maximized for efficiency and effectiveness. General Brown's remarks in 2021, when viewed alongside the President's current support for the upgrade proposal, suggested a continuity of thought within American defense strategy. The idea was to build a leaner, stronger, and future-ready Air Force, prepared to adapt to both current and unforeseen challenges. Whether through the gradual phasing out of the F-22 or the elevation of the NGAD F-47, the broader aim was unmistakable: to secure America's dominance in the skies for years to come. All of these plans come at a time when the future of the F-22 remains somewhat uncertain. Until last year, official Air Force strategy had called for the eventual replacement of the Raptor by a new 6th-generation stealth fighter under the Next Generation Air Dominance program. However, the continued investment in the Raptor fleet suggests that, at least for now, the Air Force intends to keep its prized stealth fighter relevant and capable well into the future. China thought it had struck gold, stealing what it believed were the blueprints to America's most advanced fighter, the F-22, but they were chasing shadows. In a stunning reveal, the U.S. has unveiled a next-generation air dominance fighter that isn't just a successor to the F-22, but a complete game-changer. With unmatched stealth, blistering speed, and battlefield awareness, this fighter jet is set to enter service by 2030 and redefine air superiority for decades to come. So how powerful is this jet? And why are America's enemies panicking? Join us as we reveal why the U.S.'s enemies are scared of the new F-22 replacement. The F-22 Raptor might just be a 5th-generation fighter jet, but it is by far one of the most advanced fighter jets modern warfare has ever seen. Its sleek shape, hidden air intakes, and special materials help it remain undetected by enemy radar. This jet is also equipped with advanced technology that has never been used before. One of its standout features is the APG-77 radar, which can track multiple targets simultaneously, even in adverse weather conditions, and detect enemies up to 150 miles away. With over 30 antennas surrounding the jet, it can detect threats more than 250 miles away and help the pilot respond quickly using tools like flares and chaff. It also features sensors to detect incoming missiles and track heat from a distance without revealing its position. At the core of the jet are two powerful computers that process over 10 billion instructions every second. They manage everything from radar to mission systems. This system can spot threats and share information like a flying command center, similar to the larger RC-135. When it comes to armament, the F-22 is equipped with 3 internal weapons bays, a large central bay under the fuselage, and 2 smaller side bays near the engine inlets. A small bay located behind each side bay is used for countermeasures, such as flares. The central bay can hold 6 LAU-142/A launchers for beyond visual range missiles, while each side bay holds an LAU-141/A launcher for short-range missiles. Though designed for air-to-air combat, the F-22 primary weapons bay can also be reconfigured to carry bombs. The 4 missile launchers can be swapped out for 2 bomb racks, each capable of holding 1 1,000-pound bomb or 4 250-pound bombs, allowing it to carry up to 2,000 pounds of air-to-surface ordnance. While the F-22 typically carries weapons internally to preserve its stealth profile, it is also equipped with 4 hardpoints on its wings, each capable of handling 5,000 pounds. These hardpoints can be fitted with pylons to carry a 600-gallon external fuel tank or a launcher for 2 air-to-air missiles. Despite the F-22's incredible capabilities, China managed to obtain state secrets about the jet and quickly set to work on developing a replica. China's new J-31, the first 5th-generation stealth fighter in its fleet, has been photographed conducting test flights. This jet is intended to be the People's Liberation Army Air Force's response to both the F-22 and the F-35. However, what Beijing didn't foresee was how the U.S. Air Force's next-generation NGAD program would surpass these older designs. As China strives to make its first 5th-generation fighter a reality, the next-generation air dominance program is creating shockwaves, especially with its groundbreaking network capabilities. Unlike traditional fighters, which operate as standalone aircraft, the NGAD is envisioned as a connected family of systems consisting of the main fighter jet and a series of unmanned aerial vehicles that can be controlled by the pilot with the push of a button. Each NGAD fighter will be accompanied by at least 2 collaborative combat aircraft, also known as CCA, for missions like counter-air operations, air-to-air strikes, and attacks on ground-based targets. These CCAs are pushing the boundaries of technology, with development starting in 2024 and the U.S. investing up to $6 billion into the project from 2024 to 2028. The CCAs will be unmanned, featuring a degree of autonomy powered by AI-driven software. Before taking flight alongside the NGAD, each CCA will be programmed with its mission objective. This AI will also allow the CCA to communicate with its paired NGAD fighter, creating a seamless connection between the two. This advanced system is designed to give the NGAD pilot unmatched situational awareness, improved survivability, and a broad array of attack options. CCAs will be able to carry weapons, engage enemy aircraft, and participate in air-to-ground strikes. They'll also be capable of gathering intelligence and offering surveillance over a wider area than a single fighter could cover on its own. With an impressive range of sensors, CCAs will alert the NGAD pilot to incoming threats, providing early warnings and enhancing missile evasion capabilities. In addition, CCAs may be equipped with electronic warfare tools like radar jammers, which will give the NGAD an even greater edge against adversaries. Together, the NGAD and its CCAs form a unified network of aerial assets operating as a single platform. This is a nightmare for any opposing fighter pilot. Rather than engaging with a highly skilled F-22 pilot, an enemy would have to contend with a swarm of CCAs that could help the NGAD evade missiles, jam radar, and even fire back before the enemy gets in range. Even if an enemy manages to shoot down one of the CCAs, the NGAD and another CCA will remain airborne, ensuring U.S. forces retain the upper hand. This creates a situation where an enemy fighter faces a 3-against-1 scenario, giving the NGAD a decisive advantage over any fighter China or Russia can deploy. However, the real challenge for adversaries is the NGAD's stealth, which is designed to surpass anything currently in the skies. While much about its stealth technology remains classified, leaks suggest that it will achieve a level of invisibility across traditional radar spectrums, rendering it undetectable not only by radar, but also by thermal sensors. The secret to this enhanced stealth lies in thermal cloaking, a concept previously confined to science fiction. Thermal cloaking involves manipulating the heat signature of an object, such as the heat emitted by the jet's engines or weapons. By redirecting this heat, typically with advanced materials, the NGAD will effectively make itself invisible to thermal sensors, including infrared detection systems. While the NGAD won't be completely invisible, it is still a physical object with UAVs around it. The ability to control its heat signature gives it a distinct advantage. Enemies won't be able to rely on infrared sensors to spot the NGAD, making it incredibly difficult to detect in the skies. It will be able to approach both air and ground targets undetected, potentially striking before the enemy even has a chance to react. Additionally, the NGAD's weapon systems, inherited from the F-22, can strike targets beyond visual range. With this capability, the NGAD and its CCAs will be able to destroy a target before it even becomes visible to the enemy, further amplifying its advantage. This combination of stealth, advanced weapons, and an integrated network of CCAs makes the NGAD an unstoppable force in modern warfare. Speaking of materials, the NGAD is poised to leap ahead of its competitors, particularly in the materials used for its construction. While most aircraft still rely heavily on metal, the NGAD will incorporate cutting-edge composite materials throughout its entire frame. The key material in this revolutionary design is ceramic matrix composites, known as CMCS. Traditionally, CMCs consist of two parts: a reinforcement material that provides strength and flexibility, and a matrix material that binds everything together. The innovation in the NGAD's CMCs, however, lies in the fact that both the reinforcement and matrix materials are made from the same type of ceramic, with possible additional secondary fibers for added strength. This development makes the NGAD's CMCs distinct from both traditional ceramics and the high-performance metal alloys typically used in fighter jets. The result is a material that combines the best of both worlds. CMCs are incredibly durable at high temperatures, reducing the risk of warping when the jet is flying at extremely high speeds. They are also remarkably light, about a third of the weight of nickel alloys, giving the NGAD greater maneuverability than its predecessors like the F-22. Additionally, this reduced weight means the jet can carry more weapons without sacrificing speed or agility. CMC's ability to maintain high mechanical strength at elevated temperatures, combined with fracture toughness and resistance to thermal shocks, further cements its role as the next-generation material for fighter jet construction. This will make the NGAD not only faster and more agile, but also more resilient, capable of surviving extreme conditions that might cause conventional jets to falter. The combination of lightweight and high-performance materials like CMCs means that a rival pilot will have to contend with more than just the NGAD's advanced weaponry and network systems. They'll be up against a fighter that is lighter, faster, and more capable of outmaneuvering them in battle. Even more concerning for America's adversaries is that CMCs won't be exclusive to the NGAD. GE Aviation is already working on incorporating these materials into the F-35's design, suggesting that this material will become a game-changer across multiple platforms, further solidifying the U.S. military's air dominance. However, weight and materials are just one part of the equation. The NGAD's speed will also benefit from the next-generation adaptive propulsion, also known as the NGAP system. In partnership with Pratt & Whitney, the U.S. Air Force has already completed a prototype of the NGAP system, known as the XA-103. This prototype has undergone successful evaluations and is now set for ground testing. The NGAP system is a critical component of the NGAD's design, focused on enhancing overall performance and enabling air dominance. Pratt & Whitney, the company behind the system, has emphasized that the NJAP will provide greater fuel efficiency, allowing the NGAD to stay airborne longer and cover greater distances than current fifth-generation fighters. The system will also offer robust power and advanced thermal management, further improving the fighter's already impressive stealth capabilities. The specific details of NJAP's capabilities are still somewhat limited, but insights can be drawn from comments by John R. Sneeden, the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center's propulsion director. Sneeden, who has been involved with the Adaptive Engine Transition Program, AETP, which aimed at creating a new engine for the F-35, has stated that while the NJAP system will differ from the AETP, the technology baseline is essentially the same. This means many of the advancements made in the AETP program, particularly in composite materials and thermal management, will be incorporated into NGAD's propulsion system. These improvements are expected to enhance the stealth profile of the NJAD, allowing it to operate more effectively in contested airspace. The NJAP system will enable the NGAD to achieve supercruise speeds well beyond the F-22's Mach 1.7, likely reaching Mach 2. Supercruise refers to the ability of a fighter jet to maintain supersonic speeds without using afterburners, which can expose the jet to enemy detection due to the heat generated. By achieving Mach 2 without afterburners, the NGAD will be able to fly at twice the speed of sound while remaining virtually undetectable. This increased speed, combined with improved fuel efficiency and extended operational ranges, will give the NGAD a significant edge over its adversaries. The advanced propulsion system ensures the fighter remains airborne for extended periods, covering greater distances without requiring frequent refueling, making it more efficient and versatile than Chinese or Russian fighters. Beyond its impressive flight capabilities, the NGAD is expected to carry a fearsome array of weapons. While full details of its armament are still under wraps, it is speculated that one of the primary weapons will be the Raytheon AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile, JATM, which is currently in development. With a maximum speed of Mach 5, over twice the speed of China's J-35 fighter, the JATM is designed to engage and neutralize high-speed fifth-generation fighters with ease. Its range extends to 120 miles, which means it can be fired from beyond visual range, giving the NGAD a significant edge in any aerial confrontation. The missile is equipped with both an inertial guidance system and an active radar seeker, ensuring it can lock onto and track targets with high precision, even at great distances. One of the JATM's most notable features is its design to counter emerging threats, particularly new Chinese fighters like the J-31. According to Brigadier General Anthony Genetempo, who once led the U.S. Air Force's weapons program, the JATM offers greater range than the AMRAAM and includes unique capabilities tailored to engage specific threats, like the J-31. This focused capability makes the missile a vital component of the NGAD's arsenal, ensuring it remains effective against the latest advanced enemy fighters. In addition to the JATM, the NGAD will be equipped with the Northrop Grumman Stand-in Attack Weapon, SI-AW, a missile designed for attacking relocatable surface targets, such as ships and land-based air defense systems. While details on the CRW are scarce, its inclusion would give the NGAD even greater versatility, enabling it to engage both aerial and ground-based threats effectively. With the SI-AW, the NGAD would be capable of striking multiple types of targets, making it an all-encompassing weapon of air superiority. Another key aspect of the NJAD's performance is its operational altitude. The jet is expected to operate at altitudes as high as 60,000 feet, a characteristic that allows it to maintain a significant advantage over adversaries. The F-22 Raptor demonstrated the strategic value of this altitude when it successfully shot down a Chinese high-altitude balloon in early 2023. Being able to launch weapons like the JATM and SI-AW from an altitude of 60,000 feet gives the NGAD a dramatic edge in both range and stealth. Missiles launched from higher altitudes benefit from reduced atmospheric drag and greater kinetic energy, allowing them to travel farther and faster. In real terms, that means a missile fired from an NGAD at high altitude can strike well before enemy aircraft, flying 20 to 30 feet lower, are even aware of its presence. It's a classic case of first look, first shot, first kill. This high-altitude advantage reinforces the NGAD's core strategy to dominate the air without even being seen. Operating at a height that most enemy fighters cannot reach and firing beyond visual range, the NGAD will be able to eliminate threats long before a confrontation is necessary. It's not just about having superior speed or stealth, though it has both. It's about reshaping the air battlefield into something entirely asymmetric. But while the NGAD may be the most advanced fighter ever conceived, its cost is a genuine concern. At an estimated $300 million per jet, the NGAD comes with a price tag nearly triple that of an F-35. And that estimate doesn't even include the CCAs. These high costs limit how many NGADs the Air Force can purchase. As Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall noted in 2024, we can only afford it in small numbers. That means the NGAD won't replace the F-35 or F-22 in volume, but instead act as a spearhead force, leading the charge in the most sensitive and high-risk missions where air superiority is non-negotiable. Even in small numbers, though, the NGAD is a game-changer. Its blend of next-generation weapons, unrivaled stealth, high-altitude performance, and adaptive propulsion makes it untouchable by anything China or Russia can currently field. Surprisingly, the NGAD isn't the only advanced jet the U.S. is working on. Another powerful project is underway, the F-20. In 2012, the U.S. Navy began planning for this next-generation fighter. It's designed to take over from the aging Super Hornet fleet in the 2030s and to work alongside the F-35C and future unmanned aircraft. The F-20 will be built for complete air dominance, with the ability to fight in the most dangerous skies where enemy defenses are strong. This jet won't just handle air-to-air battles, it will also conduct ground strikes, defend naval forces, and support ground troops. It's expected to have super cruise ability, flying fast without using afterburners, plus cutting-edge stealth, sensors, and radar systems. What sets the F-20 apart is its adaptability. It may come in manned, unmanned, or even pilot-optional versions. It will likely include air-to-air refueling, reconnaissance, surveillance, and electronic warfare capabilities. Although still under wraps, the Navy is exploring some innovative features, such as smart skins, where sensors and electronics are integrated directly into the aircraft's body. This would reduce drag and boost performance. The jet may also have extreme battlefield connectivity, linking up with satellites, drones, and other aircraft in real time. One key design goal for the F-20 is flexibility. The Navy wants an open architecture system, basically a modular setup where different sensors, weapons, and tech can be swapped in and out based on the mission. This way, the jet can quickly adapt to other roles, even on back-to-back flights. The propulsion system remains a topic of debate. The Air Force supports adaptive cycle engines that shift airflow to boost fuel efficiency and performance. But the Navy isn't entirely convinced those engines will work well on carrier-based jets, where weight and space are more limited. Instead of depending solely on stealth or speed like past fighters, the F-20 is being designed with a new mindset. Thanks to modern radar and faster enemy missiles, survivability now depends on more than just being invisible. The next-gen jet will carry powerful advanced weapons and rely on network battle systems. That means it doesn't need to see everything itself. It can get target info from other platforms in the sky or at sea and still strike with pinpoint accuracy. And of course, it has to land on aircraft carriers. The F-20 will need to work seamlessly with the Navy's current carrier fleet, including both the Nimitz and Gerald R. Ford classes. The upgraded F-22 Raptor is challenging global defense norms. With enhanced stealth, improved engines, and advanced sensor fusion, its air superiority is redefined. Critics warn these changes could trigger an arms race, while others argue it secures U.S. dominance. Meanwhile, China and Russia are investing in next-generation fighter technologies to lead the innovation race. As Beijing and Moscow ramp up their modernization efforts, the critical question remains: can the F-22 maintain its supremacy, or will emerging platforms like the F-47 usher in a new era of aerial warfare? Join us as we uncover the cutting-edge upgrades of the F-22 Raptor, advancements so powerful they've captured China's attention. The F-22 Raptor is one of the most advanced fighter jets ever built, but it didn't start out that way. It began as part of the U.S. Air Force's Advanced Tactical Fighter program in 1981. The goal was to replace the F-15 and F-16, which were powerful but becoming vulnerable to new Soviet threats. The Soviets were developing advanced missiles, airborne warning systems, and new fighters like the Su-27 and MiG-29, which could challenge U.S. air superiority. To stay ahead, the U.S. needed a fighter that was faster, stealthier, and more advanced. Engineers designed the ATF to dominate in a future war, using cutting-edge technology like lightweight materials, better flight controls, and engines that allowed supercruise. Sustained supersonic flight without using fuel-hungry afterburners. Most importantly, it had stealth capabilities, making it nearly invisible to enemy radar. After years of competition, Lockheed YF-22 won against Northrop's YF-23 in 1991. While the YF-23 was stealthier and faster, the YF-22 was more maneuverable thanks to its thrust-vectoring engines, which allowed it to perform sharp turns and outmaneuver enemies in close combat. Lockheed's design also had fewer risks, making it the Air Force's top choice. Over the years, the F-22 has received multiple upgrades to keep it at the top of the game. Originally built for air-to-air combat, it has been enhanced to handle air-to-ground missions with precision bombs, making it more versatile. Its avionics have been upgraded, including better radar and sensor fusion, allowing pilots to detect and track threats even more effectively. One of the biggest improvements is its stealth maintenance. When the F-22 first entered service, its stealth coatings required a lot of upkeep, but new materials have made it more durable and easier to maintain. This means less downtime and more time in the air, ready for action. The F-22's weapon systems have also been enhanced. It now uses improved AIM-9X Sidewinder missiles for short-range dogfights and AIM-120D AMRAAM missiles for long-range engagements. Additionally, new software upgrades have given it the ability to communicate better with other aircraft, improving its role in networked warfare. While the Air Force stopped producing the F-22 after building 186 jets, it has continued to receive technological upgrades. Some of these improvements come from lessons learned during the development of the upcoming next-generation air dominance fighter, and they have enhanced the fighter jet's ability to detect, track, and eliminate threats before they even know it's there. These technological upgrades have significantly strengthened one of the F-22 most critical advantages, its radar and sensor systems. The jet's ANAPG-77 radar allows pilots to spot enemy aircraft from extreme distances while staying undetected. This radar uses active electronically scanned array technology, which improves tracking and targeting while reducing the chance of being detected by enemy systems. Combined with powerful jamming capabilities, the F-22 can disrupt enemy communications and radar, making it even harder to counter. The F-22 doesn't just rely on stealth, it's also armed with some of the deadliest air-to-air weapons in the world. The AIM-120 AMRAAM missile is its primary long-range weapon, designed to engage enemy aircraft before they get close. For close-range combat, the AIM-9X Sidewinder offers unmatched agility, allowing the Raptor to take down threats even during high-speed dogfights. Additionally, the F-22 carries an M61 Vulcan 20mm cannon, a 6-barrel rotary gun capable of firing 6,000 rounds per minute. This provides a powerful backup for situations where missiles aren't an option. Speed and agility are key to the F-22's dominance. Its thrust-vectoring nozzles give it unmatched control in the air, allowing it to perform maneuvers no other fighter can match. Whether it's executing high G turns, rapid climbs, or sudden dives, the Raptor can outmaneuver opponents with ease. This ability is critical in dogfights, where the slightest advantage can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Former pilots often describe flying the F-22 as effortless, with its advanced flight controls making complex maneuvers feel smooth and precise. This agility ensures the Raptor can engage and disengage at will, giving its pilots complete control over the battlefield. While the F-22 is already a technological marvel, ongoing software and hardware upgrades will keep it ahead of emerging threats. The F-3R, that is, Form, Fit, Function, Refresh program, is enhancing the aircraft's avionics, increasing its processing power and sensor capabilities. These improvements will make the Raptor even deadlier, allowing it to integrate with next-generation systems and unmanned drones in future combat scenarios. The Air Force is also working on engine enhancements to boost efficiency and power, ensuring the Raptor remains capable of supersonic speeds without afterburners. These updates will extend the F-22's operational life, keeping it in service for years to come. Last year, Lockheed Martin successfully ran 6 flight tests to add new high-tech features to the stealth fighter. The U.S. Air Force relies heavily on its fleet of F-22s, and these upgrades will help keep the jet at the top of its game, possibly all the way into the 2040s. Some of the biggest improvements include a new infrared defensive system, advanced sensors, and special stealthy drop tanks that extend its range. At the 2025 Air and Space Forces Warfare Symposium, Lockheed Martin shared updates about these developments. Right now, the Air Force has about 180 F-22s, though 32 of them are older models used only for training and testing. Mike Shoemaker, a top executive at Lockheed Martin, emphasized the significance of the upgrades, stating that modern fighter jets must have enhanced vision, quicker threat detection, and extended strike capabilities. He mentioned that recent flight tests had concentrated on integrating advanced sensors to improve the F-22 Raptor's ability to track and engage targets from much greater distances, significantly boosting its combat advantage. While Lockheed Martin didn't share specific details about these sensors, the Air Force has been testing stealthy underwing pods on the F-22 for years. Many experts believe these pods house an advanced infrared search and track system, which would allow the Raptor to detect enemy aircraft without using radar, perfect for staying hidden while hunting down threats. Another major improvement coming to the F-22 is its next-generation infrared defensive system. Mike confirmed that Lockheed Martin is already under contract to integrate this technology, which will give the Raptor better missile warning capabilities and long-range detection. In simple terms, this means the jet will not only be better at spotting enemies, but also at avoiding surprise attacks. Lockheed Martin previously revealed that IRDS will use a distributed sensor system based on Hyperspeed technology, first introduced in 2022. Hyperspeed sensors provide a constant infrared view of the battlefield, helping pilots detect and track threats, even in complete darkness. So far, these sensors have only been fully integrated into F-5 advanced Tiger jets used by private military contractors. Now they're making their way to the world's most advanced stealth fighter. Mike's comments confirm that the F-22's new advanced sensor upgrade is different from the infrared search and track distributed system. This suggests that the Raptor may get even more advanced infrared tracking capabilities. Adding an extra infrared sensor pod alongside IRDS makes sense. Traditional IRST systems, whether built into jets or carried as external pods, typically use large, swiveling sensors to track targets from different angles. TAC IRST, the system being developed for the F-22, works differently. In 2017, Ken Merchant, a Lockheed Martin executive for the F-22 program, explained that there wasn't enough space inside the jet to install a full IRST system like the F-35's Electro-Optical Targeting System, or EOTS. EOTS mainly helps with air-to-ground targeting, but it also has infrared tracking capabilities. Even on its own, IRDS would be a huge improvement over the F-22's current ANAAR-56 missile launch detector, which only provides basic infrared warnings. TASI IRST sensors spread across the aircraft could help the Raptor detect threats more effectively, similar to how the F-35 distributed aperture system works. Using both built-in and podded IRST sensors together would be a game changer. As experts have explained, traditional IRST sensors can only detect a target's direction and movement, but struggle to determine its exact range. However, if two aircraft with IRST systems share data, they can quickly triangulate a target's position with precision. Lockheed Martin has already demonstrated this kind of teamwork using its Legion pod, which features an IRST-21 sensor. This system can provide high-quality targeting data and has been tested on various fighter jets. The F-22 was originally supposed to have an IRST system, but budget cuts removed it late in development. Now, with stealth technology becoming more common worldwide, the U.S. military sees infrared tracking as crucial, Unlike radar, which actively sends out signals that enemies can detect, IRST works passively. It simply listens for heat signatures, making it perfect for tracking stealth aircraft. IRST can also help radar systems lock onto targets more effectively, providing better accuracy without revealing the jet's position. One of the biggest advantages of IRST is that it's immune to electronic warfare. Modern enemy forces use jamming technology to disrupt radars, but infrared tracking can't be blocked in the same way. This makes IRST a powerful tool for detecting and tracking stealthy threats. Mike reassured that any new F-22 upgrades would maintain the aircraft's stealth capabilities. This is crucial as the U.S. faces increasing threats from advanced enemy aircraft and stealthy weapons. China, for example, recently unveiled 2 new stealth fighter designs, signaling rapid advancements in their air combat technology. He also emphasized the importance of detecting threats from greater distances in modern air combat. He explained that if an aircraft could sense and see farther, it would also be able to share that information with other units. The F-22 Raptor had already proven itself as one of the most advanced fighters, acting as a central coordinator for larger aerial teams. Mike noted that it could gather intelligence, guide other aircraft, and ensure air superiority. Lockheed Martin, alongside the U.S. Air Force and industry partners, had been working to enhance the Raptor's communication and networking abilities to further improve its role in battle. According to Lockheed Martin, the F-22 was the first combat aircraft to fully utilize an open mission systems architecture, which allowed for faster and easier software upgrades. This feature made the aircraft highly adaptable to new technologies. A major software update known as Release 4 was in its final testing phase. If everything proceeded as planned, the update would be available for the entire F-22 fleet by the end of the spring. He also pointed out that this upgrade would make it easier to integrate third-party applications into the aircraft's mission systems, enhancing its capabilities even further. When discussing the timeline for the Raptor's new sensor capabilities, Mike mentioned that they were expected to be delivered to the fleet within the next few years. In the meantime, he highlighted that the F-22 remained in high demand. It was also revealed that Lockheed Martin had been supporting increased operations and deployments despite the relatively small size of the F-22 fleet. He acknowledged the challenges of maintaining a fleet that had accumulated over 500,000 flying hours, but reassured that the aircraft would not require major structural upgrades to continue serving well into the 2040s. The long-term future of the F-22, however, remained tied to the Air Force's next-generation air dominance program. Originally designed to replace the Raptor, NGAD had undergone a detailed review the previous year. It was suggested that the analysis appeared to favor continuing the program as planned, although concerns about affordability persisted. Developing a next-generation fighter required significant funding, which had to be balanced with other military priorities, such as stealth refueling tankers and AI-powered drone wingmen, known as collaborative combat aircraft. Additionally, rising costs in the Sentinel intercontinental ballistic missile program had forced the Air Force to reassess its budget. Shoemaker also mentioned that discussions were still ongoing regarding the optimal size of the B-21 Raider stealth bomber fleet. Meanwhile, the Department of Defense was facing potential budget cuts to existing programs in order to redirect resources toward new priorities, including the Golden Dome missile defense system. Despite these uncertainties, Lockheed Martin remained confident in the F-22's continued importance. It was indicated that the aircraft's upgrades were already contributing to NGAD research, ensuring its relevance in modern air combat. However, as the U.S. Air Force moves forward with the next generation of fighters, a major shift is underway. The recent unveiling of the F-47, the Air Force's newest jet, marks a significant leap beyond the F-22, offering superior range, stealth, and cost-effectiveness. Air Force Chief of Staff General David W. Alvin, who spoke at a high-profile event alongside former President Donald Trump, revealed new details about this once-secret aircraft. Alvin reportedly stated that, despite claims from adversaries, the F-47 would be the first crewed sixth-generation fighter in the world. His comments were seen as a response to China, which had recently unveiled its own stealth aircraft. He explained that the F-47 would join the B-21 Raider stealth bomber in the Air Force's new fleet and would be equipped with advanced stealth technology, next-generation sensors, and long-range attack capabilities. These features, he noted, would make the aircraft highly effective in contested battle zones. Although the Air Force did not reveal all details about the F-47, the concept images released showed notable design differences compared to previous fifth-generation fighters like the F-22 and F-35. Observers noted that while the F-47 had a traditional, stealthy nose and bubble canopy, it also included forward canards and sharply angled wings, features not commonly associated with stealth aircraft. Alvin reportedly emphasized that the F-47 would have a significantly longer range than the F-22. The existing F-22 could fly more than 1,850 miles with external fuel tanks before needing to refuel, but the F-47 was expected to exceed that distance considerably. Discussions within the Air Force had suggested the possibility of producing two variants of the aircraft, one larger version designed for long-range missions, particularly in the Pacific, and another smaller version optimized for shorter-range operations in Europe. According to the Air Force, the F-47 represents a major leap forward and had been designed with a modular system that would allow it to be upgraded over time. Officials expressed confidence that this approach would ensure the aircraft remained effective for decades. Alvin further explained that for the past 5 years, the Air Force had been testing NGAD technologies using experimental X-planes. These test aircraft had flown hundreds of hours, helping engineers refine advanced systems and accelerate the development process. He stated that this extensive testing had allowed them to push the limits of technology and bring the fighter into service more quickly than previous programs. He also reportedly expressed confidence that the F-47 would be operational within former President Trump's administration, which would last until January 2029. Comparisons were made to the F-22, which took 6 years to progress from selection in 1991 to its first production flight. It was also noted that references to NGAD test flights had surfaced as early as 2020. However, former Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall had later revealed that prototype flights had likely taken place even earlier, possibly in the mid-2010s. One of the biggest issues with the F-22 was its cost. While the basic construction of each jet cost around $140 million, once research, development, and other expenses were included, the price soared to about $350 million per aircraft. Now, with the Next Generation Air Dominance program, the Air Force plans to field between 220 and 250 advanced fighters. The F-47, a product of this effort, is expected to be a game-changer. Unlike older stealth aircraft, which required extensive maintenance to keep their radar-evading surfaces intact, the F-47 will feature a more durable design, reducing downtime and making it combat-ready more often. This design philosophy follows lessons learned from the new B-21 Raider bomber, which was built to fly frequently without excessive maintenance. The F-47 is also built for adaptability. Thanks to digital engineering and an open systems approach, its software, sensors, and mission equipment can be upgraded quickly and easily. It will also need fewer crew members and ground support to operate, making it more flexible in real-world missions. Boeing won the contract to develop the F-47, which will now enter its engineering and testing phase. Initially, a small number of test aircraft will be produced, with options for further production later. Boeing stated that this fighter will continue its legacy of building some of the most famous aircraft in U.S. history, including the P-51 Mustang, F-15 Eagle, and F/A-18 Hornet. The decision to select Boeing over Lockheed Martin was surprising to some. Boeing has faced issues with several military projects, such as the KC-46 tanker and T-7 trainer, resulting in significant cost overruns. Meanwhile, Lockheed, the maker of the F-22 and F-35, has struggled with delays in upgrading the F-35's technology and managing its high maintenance costs. However, the Air Force has not publicly shared the reasons behind its choice. Despite the debates surrounding the selection process, the Air Force remains focused on ensuring air superiority. The next-generation fighter is expected to dominate the skies, keeping the U.S. ahead of threats for decades. Meanwhile, the F-22 will remain a key part of the USF's fleet, benefiting from upgrades until its eventual replacement by the Boeing F-47, ensuring continued air superiority well into the future. Traditional aircraft, no matter how stealthy, remain vulnerable when exposed too long to modern air defense networks. America's latest hypersonic test has pushed beyond those limits, demonstrating speeds that stun defense experts and even outpace the F-22 Raptor, the U.S. Air Force's premier fifth-generation fighter. But what hypersonic test did the United States just conduct? And could it give America the decisive edge over its rivals? Join us as we unveil the details of the hypersonic test that the United States recently conducted and what exactly stunned experts. The United States Army is preparing to bring one of its most ambitious weapons to life, a system that has been whispered about for years and tested under a cloud of both setbacks and secrecy. The long-range hypersonic weapon, fittingly nicknamed Dark Eagle. Designed to reach ranges of nearly 2,700 kilometers, or roughly 1,670 miles, and capable of flying at speeds faster than Mach 5, Dark Eagle is engineered to outpace and outmaneuver traditional defenses. Unlike conventional missiles, it rides the upper edges of the Earth's atmosphere, carrying its hypersonic glide body in a realm too high for most interceptors, yet too low for space-based shields, giving it an almost untouchable flight profile until the moment it dives onto its target. This ability makes it a weapon designed not just for offense, but for deterrence against formidable rivals such as China, Russia, and North Korea, all of whom are racing to master their own hypersonic arsenals. But Dark Eagle's road to deployment has been anything but smooth. Originally expected to be operational by the year 2023, the weapon stumbled through a series of frustrating test failures. Its first major setback came in 2022, when pre-flight issues forced the Army to scrub its launch, delaying progress at a time when urgency was mounting. The following year brought another hurdle as engineers uncovered a critical battery flaw just before testing, a seemingly small technical issue that created another lengthy pause. For critics, these stumbles seem to confirm doubts about whether hypersonic technology was ready for real-world use. Yet the program pressed forward, and by 2024, Dark Eagle began to prove its worth, with a battery making its debut at Exercise Resolute Hunter, a milestone that suggested the tide had turned. Now with official deployment scheduled before the close of fiscal year 2025, the weapon is poised to become more than a prototype. It is set to become an operational reality. The question of where the first unit will be stationed remains uncertain, though Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington, home of the first multi-domain task force, has long been the likely candidate. Wherever it lands, Dark Eagle will come as part of a complete system, including launchers, transport vehicles, fire control stations, and a full logistical backbone to keep the weapon combat ready. Its arrival will give the Army a strategic edge, one that promises not only to close the hypersonic gap with rival powers, but also to establish a new standard for precision strike warfare. That edge was on full display when the United States took a decisive step in its Indo-Pacific posture, deploying the Dark Eagle long-range hypersonic weapon system to Australia during the Talisman Sabre 2025 exercise. It was the first overseas deployment of the ground-launched hypersonic system and signals Washington's intent to deter and, if needed, counter growing Chinese military reach. In July, the Hawaii-based 3rd Multi-Domain Task Force moved the system into Australia's Northern Territory, where it integrated into a 3-week exercise that involved roughly 40,000 troops from 19 nations. For the United States, the deployment was both a demonstration of capability and a test of how rapidly advanced strike systems can be projected into contested theaters. Dark Eagle was engineered for precisely this kind of forward presence. Each missile can fly faster than Mach 5 and strike targets at ranges near 1,725 miles, while maneuvering in flight to frustrate interception attempts. Mounted on mobile launchers, the system supports shoot-and-scoot tactics that complicate enemy targeting and shorten the time adversaries have to respond. That mobility, paired with high speed and mid-course maneuverability, gives commanders flexible options for rapid long-range response and reshapes how planners think about deterrence and escalation in the region. Beyond the hardware, the deployment served clear diplomatic purposes, Stationing the Dark Eagle in Australia reassured allies that the United States remains committed to Pacific security and is willing to integrate advanced capabilities into combined operations. For partners anxious about Beijing's expanding navy and missile forces in the South China Sea and beyond, the move signaled that the U.S. can partner closely and bring modern strike options to bear. The presence of the system during a large multinational exercise also provided a chance to rehearse alliance logistics, command arrangements, and the exchange of targeting data under realistic conditions. Operationalizing hypersonic weapons in a forward setting is complex. Their unusual flight profiles and speeds demand new planning, logistics, and command and control approaches. Transporting, emplacing, and sustaining the system during a forward deployment required careful coordination between U.S. and Australian authorities. Troops trained on secure emplacement, rapid repositioning, and integration with allied sensors, so fire control and targeting could work smoothly across national lines. Exercises like Talisman Sabre tested not only the weapon, but also the networks of people, sensors, and communications that must function together for a hypersonic strike to be credible and safe. Officials framed the move as part of a broader shift toward dispersed lethality and integrated joint concepts. Patrick Mason, a senior logistics official with the U.S. Army, said weapons like Dark Eagle are meant to complicate adversaries' decision calculus and strengthen deterrence with speed, accuracy, and flexibility. In combined drills, the system also tested how partners can share time-sensitive intelligence, maintain resilient communications, and operate under the strain of complex multinational command structures. Still, the deployment raises important questions for planners and policymakers. How will regional basing and rotational patterns evolve to support a persistent presence without unnecessarily escalating tensions? What legal and operational safeguards will govern the use of hypersonic weapons in crowded maritime and air environments? Allies must balance strong deterrence, signaling with discipline to prevent miscalculation in crises. Dark Eagle's trip to Australia was more than a tactical move. It was a strategic statement. By demonstrating the ability to deploy a mobile, high-speed strike capability alongside partners, the United States showed it can field advanced deterrent options in the Indo-Pacific, complicating any adversary's planning. For allies and rivals alike, the message is clear. The tempo of modern strike warfare is accelerating, and those who can move faster will shape the region's security and policy matters. Its deployment is also a significant step for Washington, but American planners know it will not, on its own, be enough to maintain a decisive edge in the Indo-Pacific. China has been pressing ahead with its own hypersonic arsenal, developing and unveiling systems designed to bypass traditional defenses and complicate U.S. strategy. Chief among these is the F-17, first displayed in a Victory Day parade in Beijing in 2019, a system that sent ripples through military circles by showcasing China's ability to field an operational hypersonic glide vehicle well before many had expected. Unlike speculative projects, the F-17 has been paraded, tested, and woven into the People's Liberation Army's broader modernization efforts, signaling Beijing's intent to lead in the hypersonic race rather than play catch-up. Now, as another Victory Day parade approaches on September 3rd, reports suggest that even newer hypersonic platforms could be revealed, potentially joining China's arsenal shortly after the celebrations end. If accurate, these developments underscore a pattern. Beijing uses such parades not only for domestic prestige, but also as strategic messaging to its rivals. Rolling out new hypersonic systems in front of cameras is more than a show of strength. It is a signal to Washington, Canberra, Tokyo, and beyond that, China will continue to innovate and deploy weapons designed to neutralize foreign strike capabilities. With each new system announced, the pressure grows on the United States and its allies to demonstrate that their own technologies are credible and deployable, not simply prototypes or test articles. Predictably, China's reaction to the Dark Eagle deployment has gone beyond military calculations. State-controlled outlets and affiliated analysts have seized on the move to portray Australia as an instrument of American power rather than an independent actor. In remarks to the South China Morning Post, Chen Hong of East China Normal University argued that Australia had become a tool of Washington's Indo-Pacific strategy, describing Canberra as both a strategic and tactical weapon used by the United States across multiple fronts. This rhetoric fits neatly within Beijing's long-standing narrative that U.S. alliances are manipulative, designed to coerce partners into serving American interests at the expense of their own sovereignty. It is also an attempt to drive wedges within alliances, suggesting to the Australian public and regional observers that Canberra is compromising its autonomy by aligning too closely with Washington's security architecture. From an American perspective, however, the deployment is less about using allies and more about building credible regional deterrence. Hypersonic systems like Dark Eagle gain much of their value from forward basing, where they can threaten targets across vast distances without the delay of repositioning from continental U.S. soil. Australia's Northern Territory offers ideal geography for such deployments, close enough to potential flashpoints to matter, far enough from direct strikes to complicate enemy planning. For Canberra, hosting such systems provides not only security assurances, but also a seat at the table in shaping the alliance's future direction. By integrating into exercises like Talisman Sabre, Australia gains access to cutting-edge operational concepts and strengthens its role as a core player in the Indo-Pacific balance of power. Still, Beijing's criticisms cannot be dismissed outright. Australia's decision to host advanced strike systems inevitably ties it closer to U.S. strategy and could make it a target in any future confrontation. Public debate within Australia will likely intensify as deployments grow more permanent, raising questions about risk, sovereignty, and the balance between deterrence and provocation. Yet for now, Canberra's choice is clear. Aligning with Washington's hypersonic push is viewed as essential to ensuring stability in a region where speed, range, and precision are redefining military power. In this sense, the Dark Eagle deployment and China's looming hypersonic displays are part of the same story, a competition not only of technologies, but of narratives. For Washington and Canberra, the emphasis is on deterrence and alliance strength. For Beijing, it is about sovereignty and resistance to U.S. influence. The hypersonic race is therefore more than just an arms competition. It is a struggle over how power is perceived, projected, and contested across the Indo-Pacific. Amid this shifting balance, the United States Air Force is equally focused on the skies, determined to keep the F-22 Raptor sharp in an era where aerial dominance is no longer guaranteed. As part of its fiscal year 2026 budget request, the service has earmarked more than $90 million to kickstart a sweeping viability upgrade program. The aim is simple yet ambitious: ensure America's premier fifth-generation air superiority fighter remains competitive against the rapidly advancing threats posed by China and Russia well into the next decade. For a jet that once redefined air combat, these updates are less about reinventing the aircraft and more about stretching its formidable design to meet the challenges of an evolving battlefield. The Raptor's problem has never been raw capability. It remains one of the most stealthy, agile, and lethal fighters ever built. Instead, the challenge lies in sustaining and adapting it to keep pace with emerging threats. Maintenance for the fleet has become increasingly complex and costly, with established procedures leaving little room for error in high-intensity conflict scenarios. As adversaries unveil advanced radars, longer-range surface-to-air missiles, and stealth fighters of their own, the Air Force knows it cannot allow the Raptor to stand still. The planned upgrades are designed to enhance every facet of survivability, from its ability to avoid detection to how it responds when detection occurs. At the center of this modernization package is the Infrared Defensive System, or IRDS, a breakthrough in early warning technology. Borrowing from Lockheed Martin's TAC-IRM-ST system, first integrated on contractor-operated F-5 Advanced Tiger jets, the IRDS will provide the Raptor with advanced sensors capable of spotting hostile threats, whether long-range air-to-air missiles or sophisticated surface-to-air batteries, earlier and with greater accuracy than ever before. By giving pilots more time to react and counter, the IRDS could mean the difference between survival and loss in the opening minutes of a high-end engagement. But the IRDS is only one part of a broader suite of updates designed to make the Raptor more formidable. Parallel to the viability upgrade, the Air Force is already investing in an infrared search and track system, or IRST, housed in an external pod. This system allows the F-22 to detect and track low observable aircraft like China's J-20 or Russia's Su-57, without relying solely on radar, adding a critical edge in the stealth versus stealth era. Additionally, engineers are working on stealth-optimized external fuel tanks, a long-awaited innovation that will extend the jet's range without compromising its radar profile or aerodynamic performance. For a fighter expected to operate across the vast Pacific theater, such improvements could prove invaluable. Taken together, these enhancements are more than a technical refresh. They represent a bridging strategy, one meant to keep the Raptor relevant until the arrival of its successor. That successor, known variously as the Next Generation Air Dominance Program or by its notional designation, the F-47, remains years away from operational service. In the meantime, the Air Force cannot afford to let the backbone of its air superiority fleet grow outdated. By investing in these upgrades now, the service ensures not only that the Raptor can continue to dominate in contested skies, but also that a large fleet of upgraded fifth-generation fighters will still be available even after the sixth generation enters the fight. The message is clear. While the Raptor's days as the undisputed king of the skies may eventually give way to the next era of fighters, it will not fade quietly into the background. With the IRDS, IRST stealth fuel tanks, and other classified improvements on the horizon, the F-22 is set to remain a lethal guardian of American air power, bridging past innovation with future supremacy. Even as the U.S. Air Force continues to expand its ambitious upgrade program for the F-22 Raptor, all eyes are also on the future. The F-47, Boeing's sixth-generation fighter that promises to carry American air superiority well into the middle of the century. Envisioned as part of the Next Generation Air Dominance Initiative, the F-47 is not simply another aircraft, but a flying weapons ecosystem designed to dominate in an environment where stealth, speed, and information warfare converge. Yet while its potential is undeniable, the program is unfolding at a moment when Boeing faces a series of setbacks that cast long shadows over its defense portfolio. Boeing's troubles extend well beyond its military wing. The company has faced repeated controversies in its commercial division, ranging from production issues with passenger aircraft to persistent delays in delivering the new Air Force One. These problems have already shaken confidence in the aerospace giant's ability to deliver on time and on budget. In the military sphere, the picture is no less complicated. Earlier this year, two newly delivered F-15EX Eagle II fighters were abruptly grounded after a serious fuel venting malfunction was discovered. The defect caused excessive and unpredictable fuel discharge, an alarming issue that undercut the F-15EX's reputation as a low-risk, dependable upgrade to legacy fleets. For critics, it was yet another sign that Boeing was struggling to balance its commitments. Compounding the technical difficulties, Boeing's labor relations have hit turbulence as well. In early August, more than 3,000 workers across three major Midwest military aircraft plants launched a strike after rejecting a modified 4-year agreement. The walkout raised immediate concerns about whether the company could maintain production schedules for several key defense projects, including the F-47. Delays in development or production could ripple across the Pentagon's modernization timeline, frustrating efforts to keep pace with emerging threats from China and Russia, both of which are accelerating their own sixth-generation fighter programs. Despite these challenges, the Pentagon has signaled continued confidence in the F-47's future. The U.S. Air Force has requested $3.5 billion to push forward development, even as the U.S. Navy's F/A-XX program faces budgetary cutbacks. For the Air Force, the stakes are clear. The Raptor, still a formidable aircraft, is aging, with only 143 combat-coded units remaining in service. Replacing them requires a fighter that does more than match its performance. It must surpass it in every measurable way. With the F-47, Boeing has promised an aircraft capable of integrating advanced stealth, powerful new sensors, adaptive engines, and seamless connectivity with drones and other platforms. The Air Force's plans are ambitious. It expects to acquire more than 185 of the new fighters, enough to replace its entire Raptor fleet and then some. Artist renderings released by the service highlight a sleek, tailless design, optimized for low observability and long-range operations. Unlike earlier generations, however, the F-47 will not simply be measured by its aerodynamics or weapons payload, but by its ability to operate as the central node in a vast digital battlespace. Artificial intelligence, sensor fusion, and cooperative engagement with unmanned systems are expected to define its edge. Still, questions linger. Can Boeing overcome its mounting technical and labor challenges to deliver on time? Will production delays or cost overruns erode congressional support for the program? And perhaps most pressing of all, can the F-47 arrive quickly enough to ensure the United States retains its air dominance as rivals roll out their own sixth-generation prototypes? They said the F-22 was done, that its glory days were behind it. But in the world of military technology, secrets are everywhere, and some of them can rewrite history overnight. It is no longer a secret that engineers have been quietly rebuilding the future of warfare, and NASA's latest project has suddenly pushed the legendary F-22 Raptor back into the spotlight, leaving the world on edge. What's behind this unexpected upgrade? And why is the world watching so closely, bracing for the unexpected? Join us as we reveal the game-changing upgrade NASA has quietly given the F-22 Raptor. Big changes are happening. The newly elected United States President, Donald Trump, signed a major deal with SpaceX to take the F-22 Raptor to a new level, something no ally or rival saw coming. This isn't just another upgrade, it's a complete game-changer. The F-22 has always been known for its stealth and air superiority, but this new phase will make it untouchable. Remember Trump's promise to shake up military contracts? It looks like SpaceX is now leading the charge, teaming up with NASA, Lockheed Martin, and even engineers from the highly secretive Area 51. The goal? A fighter jet with insane speed, precision maneuvering, and weapons that fire faster than ever. This fighter jet has long been hailed as one of the world's most advanced air superiority platforms. Since its debut, it has received steady upgrades to counter new threats, blending stealth, supersonic cruise speeds, cutting-edge avionics, and fierce firepower. Initially developed by Lockheed Martin with support from Boeing and General Dynamics, the F-22 was designed to answer the United States Air Force's call for a fighter jet that could outperform any other aircraft globally. Its journey began in the late 1980s under the Advanced Tactical Fighter Program, and the first Raptor entered service in 2005. Even though production stopped in 2009, the F-22 has remained a pillar of United States air combat power. What makes this jet so powerful is its innovative design built for stealth and adaptability. On radar, it looks small, almost like a bug, thanks to its shape, which scatters radar signals in all directions. This aircraft has zero right angles, and its wings and tail fins are positioned to avoid detection. Its entire surface is coated in radar-absorbing material, and even the cockpit is engineered to minimize reflection. But that's not all. To stay off enemy radars, the F-22 keeps its weapons tucked inside, hides its exhaust to reduce heat signals, and runs a cooling system to handle the insane temperatures during supersonic flights. The F-22 is not just about looks. Under the surface, it is packed with high-tech sensors and electronic systems that give pilots real-time intelligence, helping them make split-second decisions in battle. And when it comes to firepower, it doesn't hold back. It carries the AIM-120 AMRAAM missile for long-range aerial combat, maintaining a tactical edge, and the AIM-9X for close-range encounters. Now, with groundbreaking upgrades backed by SpaceX, NASA, and top engineers, the F-22 Raptor is not just staying relevant, it's setting a new standard for air dominance. The Sidewinder missile, famous for its pinpoint accuracy in dogfights, now works alongside engines built initially for space missions, giving the F-22 insane new altitude and speed capabilities. Powered by a methane-oxygen mix, these next-gen engines deliver massive thrust without sacrificing control, pushing the upgraded Raptor to Mach 2.7 while keeping heat in check. NASA has even redesigned the wings using tech from supersonic aircraft like the X-15, and a new composite-based fuselage reduces drag while boosting stealth. These upgrades don't just make the Raptor faster, they unlock high-speed turns that were once considered impossible. Lockheed Martin has taken the F-22 way beyond just mechanical upgrades. The avionics system now features an AI-driven autopilot and advanced cyber defenses to block hacking attempts. The jet's electronics have been overhauled with real-time data sharing, linking it directly to Starlink satellites for seamless communication with other aircraft and bases during missions. But that's not all. Engineers at Area 51 have added a composite armor layer, making it lightweight yet tough enough to withstand impacts from 30mm rounds. Inside, the Raptor now carries an upgraded M61 Vulcan cannon and modernized internal bays loaded with air-to-air and air-to-ground missiles. Think of a high-end sports car, not just with a faster engine, but loaded with an advanced self-driving system that reacts quicker and more accurately than any human. It is locked down with top-tier cybersecurity, making hacking impossible even at top speeds. Plus, it's connected to a global satellite network, staying in constant sync with other vehicles and traffic centers, always aware of what's ahead. Its body, reinforced with ultralight but insanely strong armor that handles major impacts without slowing it down. And it doesn't stop there. It's packed with the best tools and gadgets and built to tackle anything the road throws. That's exactly how Lockheed Martin and Area 51 have transformed the F-22 Raptor. They have taken things to the next level with the fire control system, which is now powered by artificial intelligence. It can analyze the battlefield and help the pilot launch the best attack strategy in real time. Even under electronic warfare interference, the upgraded targeting systems stay locked onto their targets with pinpoint accuracy. And stealth? It's insane. The F-22 is now coated with advanced black nanomaterials, making it practically invisible to radar, even at mid-altitudes. This is not just another fighter jet upgrade, it's a fully integrated combat system, combining AI, supersonic speed, unmatched agility, and real-time data sharing. A perfect mix of aerospace innovation and cutting-edge military tech. With all these upgrades, the Raptor now flies at Mach 2.5 with ease, climbs to 12 miles in altitude, and covers up to 1,864 miles without refueling. Its navigation system is so precise that it can lock onto targets within centimeters, giving it a serious advantage in modern air combat. In January 2025, Lockheed Martin secured a $270 million contract from the United States Air Force to equip the F-22 with the infrared defense system, adding advanced tactical surveillance and tracking sensors to improve survivability and combat power. As the Air Force moves forward with this upgrade program for the remaining 154 F-22 Raptors, even as it prepares to retire 32 older Block 20 models, the legendary fighter is transforming into a next-generation air dominance force unlike anything seen before. Heavy air superiority fighters like the F-22 Raptor have strict export restrictions. Unlike lighter jets, this one is completely off-limits for foreign sales. It was developed by Lockheed Martin Aeronautics in partnership with Boeing Defense, Space and Security, officially entering service in 2005. Around the same time, the F-35 Lightning II followed in 2015. Lockheed Martin built most of the F-22's airframe and weapons, while Boeing handled the wings, avionics, and training systems. Even though it's classified as a fifth-generation air superiority fighter, some still describe its stealth tech as fourth generation. But what sets it apart is how it combines super maneuverability, supersonic speed, stealth, and sensor fusion, all in one jet. Meanwhile, the F-35 came out of the Joint Strike Fighter program, which back in 1996 had Lockheed Martin and Boeing competing to design the following big aircraft. By 2001, the F-35 won out. The F-35 Lightning II is a single-engine, fifth-generation stealth fighter built for strike missions. It's also the first operational stealth jet with short takeoff and vertical landing capabilities. One of the biggest differences between the F-35 and F-22 is the engine setup. The F-22 has twin engines, while the F-35 runs on a single engine. That's where a lot of the debate comes in. Twin engines usually mean better safety and survivability, but single engines bring improved maneuverability and easier maintenance. Their roles are different too. The F-22 dominates air-to-air combat, while the F-35 is built for air-to-ground missions. That design choice even affects their weapon bays. The F-22's bay is wide and shallow for air-to-air missiles, while the F-35 is deep and narrow to carry heavier air-to-ground weapons. like 2,000-pound joint direct attack munitions. The F-35 is like a high-tech sports bike, sleek, fast, built for precision moves, and can weave through tight spaces effortlessly. Compared to the F-22, which is more like a twin-engine speedboat designed for open waters, handling intense chases and high-speed turns in the air. The F-35 single engine makes it lighter and more agile, while the F-22's twin engines give it extra power and backup for safety if anything goes wrong. They are built for different missions. The bike is about maneuverability, while the boat is designed for head-to-head aerial battles. Their storage layouts reflect this. One has been optimized for carrying small, sharp tools, while the other is built to haul heavy-duty equipment. Speed is another huge difference between these two jets. The F-22 was designed to handle extreme altitudes and high temperatures, while the F-35 was made for a broader range of missions. It is like comparing a race car to an all-terrain SUV. The race car is designed for extreme speed on a smooth, high-performance track, capable of handling intense heat and pushing its limits. Meanwhile, the SUV is not just about speed. It is designed to tackle all terrain, from city streets to rugged trails, making it more adaptable for different missions. It might not reach the same top speed as the race car, but its versatility makes it just as valuable. With afterburners, the F-22 reaches Mach 2.25, while the F-35 maxes out at Mach 1.6, barely faster than the F-22's cruising speed of Mach 1.5. Typically, single-engine fighters have better maneuverability and thrust-to-weight ratios, but the F-22 flips that expectation. Even though it's 28 to 32% heavier than the F-35, its twin F-119 engines push out a powerful thrust-to-weight ratio of 1.08. In comparison, the F-35's single F-135 engine delivers around 0.87. On top of that, the F-22's thrust vectoring control takes its agility to the next level, making it one of the most maneuverable jets in the sky. Radar cross-section, or RCS, is a considerable factor in stealth performance, and this is where the F-22 has a serious advantage. Even though it was designed back in the 1980s, its RCS is about 10 times smaller than the F-35, giving it a significant edge in combat survivability. Understanding radar detection in modern warfare explains why stealth matters. Enemy radar scans the sky, searching for signals bouncing off aircraft surfaces. The smaller an aircraft's radar cross-section, the closer the radar must be to detect it. In aerial combat, detection range often determines survival. The F-22's advanced stealth enables approaching targets, engaging threats, and retreating while remaining nearly invisible to enemy defense systems. Military aviation experts have spent years studying how stealth aircraft perform in real combat, and the findings reveal key differences between theoretical specifications and actual battlefield effectiveness. The F-35 Lightning II falls into what some analysts call pseudo-stealth, not because it lacks advanced engineering, but because its operational stealth is still evolving. It sits in the initial operational capability phase, meaning it can handle specific missions but has not reached full integration for high-intensity combat. This distinction matters because modern air warfare is not just about individual aircraft performance, but about real-time connectivity. The most successful military strategies now rely on network-centric warfare, where different aircraft, satellites, and ground forces share live data and coordinate seamlessly. The F-35 is working toward that level, but is still transitioning into the fully developed combat system military planners originally envisioned. This level of coordination gives the United States an unmatched edge in modern combat. The F-22 is not just limited to the Air Force, it integrates with the Navy, including carrier strike groups, through the real-time Starlink data sharing system. If a reconnaissance UAV detects a threat, the Raptor can process that data and send targeting instructions to Navy cruisers and destroyers, allowing them to take out airborne and maritime threats almost instantly. Thanks to its partnership with SpaceX, the Raptor's ability to process information has skyrocketed. It now connects to the Starlink satellite network, analyses space-based intelligence with AI, and delivers critical insights to pilots and military teams in real time. The F-22 Raptor received another serious upgrade. Lockheed Martin's TASSI IRST system brings infrared tracking to the mix, giving the fighter jet a whole new way to detect threats beyond traditional radar. Why does this matter? Radar sends out signals to find targets, but that also means enemies can potentially detect those signals. TASSI IRST works differently. It is completely passive, meaning it picks up heat signatures from other aircraft without giving away its own position. That's huge for keeping the F-22 stealthy. It is also immune to electronic warfare. One of the biggest perks of infrared tracking is that it does not rely on radio waves, so it can't be jammed or spoofed like radar can. Even in an environment flooded with electronic interference, this system would continue to function. Adding the IRST gives a layer of intelligence. Now they are not just relying on radar, but also detecting heat from enemy engines and exhaust, as well as air friction. This makes tracking threats at long range even more reliable. The bottom line is that the TASSI system takes the F-22 from radar only to a mix of active and passive tracking, making it deadlier and even harder to detect, which is a serious game changer. Raytheon has secured a massive $1 billion contract to upgrade the sensor suite of the F-22 Raptor. This significant investment underscores the government's commitment to enhancing the aircraft's operational effectiveness by improving threat detection and situational awareness. The powerhouse behind the F-22 Raptor is the formidable Pratt & Whitney F-119 engines, and this is getting a serious boost. These updates are not just routine maintenance, they are precision upgrades designed to push the jet's capabilities even further. Pratt & Whitney is rolling out software updates for these advanced engines, fine-tuning them to deliver even more thrust. This means the Raptor gains an edge in acceleration, climb rate, and sustained speed, which is important for dominating aerial combat. Beyond the immediate power boost, there is a massive $1.5 billion contract dedicated to sustaining and upgrading the F-119 fleet. This is not just about keeping the engines running, it's a full modernization effort. The goal is to ensure that they remain reliable, incorporate new technology, and maintain peak performance over time. With cutting-edge connectivity, coordination, and AI-driven analysis, the Raptor has evolved into a next-level combat machine built for the future battlefield and unrestricted by traditional limitations. However, reaching this point has not been easy. The massive budget needed for upgrades demands that every enhancement meets strict standards to justify the cost. Political pressure is another hurdle, as not everyone is happy with the United States pushing forward with military advancements. Global tensions are rising, and recent military exercises in the Baltic Sea came dangerously close to sparking a real conflict, showing just how fragile the current balance is. What started as a routine training mission took a sudden turn when F-22 squadrons were scrambled to intercept an unidentified aircraft, closing in on the flagship of the U.S. Navy's 6th Fleet. Two elite pilots went into full combat mode, activating their weapons and preparing for what could turn into a high-stakes standoff, or worse, an all-out clash. But once they got a visual on the intruder, the tension shifted. It was a Su-24M Fencer E. The encounter raised serious questions, but in that moment, a dangerous confrontation was narrowly avoided. The Su-24M might be a relic from the Soviet era, dating back more than 50 years, but in the hands of its Russian pilot, it was anything but outdated. Fully armed with 12 advanced missiles, this aircraft still packed a punch. On paper, it was no real threat to the F-22 Raptors, but the American pilots had more to consider than just air combat. Taking down a Russian jet could trigger significant geopolitical consequences. With tension running high, they had to weigh the risks fast, balancing military readiness with diplomatic caution. Every move carried implications that reached far beyond the battlefield. This was not just a one-time incident. In the first quarter of 2024, NATO reported a 25% surge in fighter scrambled to intercept Russian aircraft violating Allied airspace compared to the previous year. These encounters are becoming more frequent, keeping pilots on constant high alert. In 2023 alone, NATO recorded over 300 incidents like this, with most concentrated around the highly militarized Kaliningrad region. But this time, there was a new twist. The Su-24M took off from Gruvo Air Base near Finland's border and headed straight for NATO's live exercise zone. Even experienced U.S. Navy operations officers had to pause and assess the threat. It was an urgent and unusual situation that called for immediate action. Two elite F-22s, piloted by some of the best aviators in the Air Force, were scrambled from Amari Air Base in Estonia to intercept. Detection didn't come from the ground, it came from above. The RQ-4 Global Hawk Reconnaissance UAV, one of the most advanced surveillance tools in the US military, spotted the Russian aircraft before ground-based radar even picked it up. That's rare. This shift signals a new era in which UAVs can take the lead in tracking and managing aerial threats. The incident raises serious questions about the future of combat zones and how unmanned systems might take over early detection and control, changing the balance between manned and unmanned defense strategies. The F-22 Raptor story is not just about being a fighter jet anymore. It is about how innovation, resilience, and smart upgrades have turned a legacy aircraft into a next-generation powerhouse. Once thought to be outdated, the Raptor has come back stronger, smarter, and deadlier than ever. With cutting-edge tech, AI-driven systems, and collaborations with NASA, SpaceX, Lockheed Martin, and top military minds, it is no longer just holding its ground, and it is redefining the future of air combat, proving that the race for dominance is nowhere near over. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.